Living in this dark age can be pretty tough. Guru Nanak showed the way, so it's not so rough. Ever since he was a child, he was imbued with God. With Madonna by his side, they traveled the world. There is just nobody else who loves like my Guru. He knows my heart so well, more than I even do. Guru Nanak, you're my hero. Dhanya Guru Nanak Ji, Dhanya Guru Nanak Ji. Guru Nanak spread the light, the truth of Waheguru. For we must remember the divine inside me and you. He taught us to make sure to share and work hard at what we do. Nobody's high or low, be fair and live in love and truth. Singing the praises of you. You've saved so many souls, 'cause won't you save me too? Guru Nanak, you're my hero. Dhanya Guru Nanak Ji, Dhanya Guru Nanak Ji. Tu hi Nirankar Baba.
Good morning. Welcome to the home of the Calgary Unitarians. Whoever you are, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey of faith or search for meaning, welcome. If you're visiting for the first time, or the first time in a long time, know that we are grateful to have you with us. We come together in beloved community to grow in wisdom, welcome and deepen relationships, and act for a just and sustainable world. Wherever we are located, we recognize our responsibility to be stewards of the land we're on, and acknowledge that we do this with those for whom it is their traditional territory. Here in Mohkinstsis, now known as the city of Calgary, we acknowledge our Treaty 7 relationship, entered into on September 22nd, 1877, with the people of the Blackfoot Confederacy, comprising the Siksika, Piikani, and Kainai First Nations, and the Tsuut'ina First Nation, and the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations. Kinstis, Calgary is also home to Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. In offering a land acknowledgement, we honor those who have long been the stewards of the land and accept our shared responsibility for being good caretakers. We acknowledge that treaties were entered into as a collaboration between settlers and the Indigenous people, making us all treaty people. My name is Pam Rickey, and I use the pronouns she and her, and I have the privilege of serving on your board of trustees. This congregation is special to me as a community of shared values, friendship, and mutual support in spiritual exploration and social justice work. Please join us after the service for a virtual coffee hour where we meet in small breakout rooms to get a chance to socialize. And now, Mitch will light our candle.
We light our chalice this morning with words from Guru Nanak, the founder of the Sikh religion. Religion lies not in wearing saffron robes, walking with sticks, or smearing ashes on your body. It lies not in shaving heads or blowing horns. To live in purity amidst the world's temptations is the secret to religion. Empty words do not make a religion. It is not in fasting or going into trances or traveling to foreign lands or bathing in holy rivers. It lies in seeing all people as equal.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you have joined us this morning. I'm Lynn Nugent, a member of the Calgary Unitarians, and I'm your service leader for today. As we begin our service, I wish to thank the many folks who were involved in making this possible. Believe me when I tell you that if the technical aspects of bringing our service were in my hands, well, let's just say not too much would be happening this morning. So thanks to our tech team, Christopher and Hendrik, Ev for PowerPoint, Bob, who will put our service on YouTube, Susan for managing the coffee breakout rooms, Pam for greetings from the board, Mitch for contributing his voice to our readings this morning, Mariana Louise for the chalice table, Jane for bringing us song and music, Sheila for sharing news from the Children and Youth Program, and Duff for an update on the stewardship drive and a draw where one lucky listener will get a gift basket. Our reflections this morning come from Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning. She's a member of the Sikhi faith, and I will introduce Sukhvinder more fully later. Many of you are aware that Reverend Deborah, Reverend Samaya, who's minister for the South Fraser Unitarian Congregation, and I are offering a World Religions program this year. Each month, we feature a speaker from the religion of the month, and this month we've been studying the Sikh faith and participating in some spiritual exercises to help us to lean in a little bit. I chose our prelude this morning in part because Taran Kaur expresses some of the basic tenets of the Sikh faith in her song. Sukhvinder has chosen not to do this in any detail, but rather to give us an experience from the work that she does. I encourage you to participate, and in order to do so, you will need to have a pen and paper handy. So that's a little heads up if you need to go and grab that. What does Taran Kaur have to say in her song about the core principles of her religion? She says, we must remember the divine inside me and you. Guru Nanak taught us to make sure to share and work hard at what we do. Nobody's high or low, be fair, and live in love and truth. And now a few words from our music director, Jane Perry.
Good morning, friends. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you. Will you reach out to me? We have so much to learn and from each other, so much to listen to, so much to incorporate, and we all know that we're better together. Let's sing about that. The next song we're going to sing is called Building Bridges, and it's meant to be sung as a round. So you have options here. You can either continue to sing it with me, or if you want to sing it as a round, after we've sung it together once, then let me get through the phrase building bridges between our divisions, and then you come in and echo what I've just sung. If you prefer to sing with me the whole way, though, that's okay too. We're going to sing it once all together, and then twice for those who wish as a round. Here we go. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmony. Friends, we could make such sweet harmony.
Good morning, everyone. It is so great to see all of you. And today, have Power Hour at 1 o'clock for the children, and the elementary crew are going to be learning about the shared values between Sikhism and our UU faith. And we'll be reading the story Guru Nanak and the Brahmin's Pure Food. And the youth will be learning about the history and basic beliefs and practices of Sikhism today. So I'm very excited about that. And don't forget, every third Friday, we have CU Friday, Young Adult Games Night. And if you're not sure if you're a young adult, it's 18 to 40-ish. And we had a very good time last time. We had a great turnout. So come on out for that. And also, I have some secret Easter baskets I'll be delivering to the children this week. So watch for that. I'll be sending out some emails, and maybe a bunny will come and visit your house. And now on to Lynn for our centering time.
Let us take time for quiet reflection. I will begin with the reading, followed by silence. Jane's music will bring us out of the silence. Our reading is from words by Valerie Kaur, Sikh activist, filmmaker, and civil rights lawyer. Loving others means seeing no stranger. Seeing no stranger begins in wonder. It is to look upon the face of anyone and choose to say, "You are a part of me I do not yet know." Wonder is the wellspring of love. Who we wonder about determines whose stories we hear and whose joy and pain we share. Those we grieve with, those we sit with and weep with, are ultimately those we organize with and advocate for. When a critical mass of people come together to wonder about one another, grieve with one another, fight with and for one another, we begin to build the solidarity that is needed for collective liberation and transformation. A solidarity rooted in love. You are a part of me I do not yet know. Let us take time to tend the bonds of care and compassion in our community. We who are gathered here in this virtual space each bring our own challenges, concerns, joys, and milestones. We understand ourselves to be part of a vast interconnected web of existence. What befalls one of us affects us all. As we gather this morning, we acknowledge our many concerns, both personal and in the wider world. These are challenging times with many uncertainties. Some of us are struggling with fear for ourselves, our families, our friends. Some of us are carrying burdens of depression, isolation, illness, economic stresses. Let us each take time to name our concerns for ourselves and for others. Let us light our candle of concern. In the midst of the challenges of our times, there's also hope and joy. I feel hope as the vaccination program rolls out. Joy fills my heart as spring weather arrives, albeit interspersed with some winter weather. I'm filled with gratitude and thanks for the Cabaret Friday evening. I sipped my wine, sat back, and enjoyed the entertainment. And I know some of you did as well. What warms your heart? Take time to name what you give thanks for, no matter how small it is, and what joys are present for you today. Let us light our candle of joy. My intention for our global candle this morning is focused with a prayer and a hope that worldwide vaccination programs, imperfect though they are, will become available to all and will begin to ease the burden of fear, isolation, and economic struggles that so many are facing worldwide. Let us light our global candle. Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning has recorded a reflection for us that she is entitled Standing Up to Hate. She will take us through an experience in which we will need pen and paper, as I mentioned earlier. So if you don't have them close at hand, now's another opportunity to grab them. Before we share her reflection, let me introduce her to you. Inspired by an ever-deepening love affair with Sikhi, the Sikh spiritual path of power of self, Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning, actively works with partners from diverse backgrounds to catalyze positive social change for the greater empowerment of all. She initiated and helped develop the Kirpan accommodation policy for the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. And if you're not familiar with what the Kirpan is, it's a small sword worn in a sheath by Sikhs and has an important symbolic meaning for them. Sukhvinder spearheaded the Sikh engagement with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission of Canada and the walk, Vancouver Walk for Reconciliation. She produced a short film entitled It Matters, The Legacy of Residential Schools. She helped found Food Seva, a grassroots initiative that delivers tens of thousands of pounds of food each month to those in need. Born and raised in BC, she brings a wealth of experience in fostering trust and understanding between diverse communities through authentic and vulnerable experiential engagement. She is currently focused on helping neighbors take a stand against hate by cultivating self-respect and mutual respect and actually dealing with differences. And now, Sukhvinder's reflection, Standing Up to Hate.
Thank you for inviting me to be part of your service today. My name is Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning, and I've been doing interfaith for decades. Having been born and raised in BC, I've had a lot of opportunities to get to know my diverse neighbors and engage with them in a meaningful way since I was a child. I'm very fortunate that my parents didn't teach me to otherize my neighbors. Otherizing is where people see someone else as completely alien to themselves. Another way to look at it is that it's the habit of putting labels on people in order to put them into boxes so that we can treat them like an it rather than a person, and then we can justify all kinds of atrocities. Otherizing is an important part of colonialism because it keeps people divided and in conflict with each other. If the ruling power can get different groups to fight amongst themselves, the ruling power is the strongest by default and maintains their power. The thing is, otherizing is very counter to Sikhi. Sikhi is the Sikh way of life that is rooted in self-leadership. It's not an organized religion. Sikhism is a colonial invention. It's patriarchal, it's divisive, and it contains hierarchy. People are told what box they need to fit into and what boxes they should fit other people into. There are those that count, and there are those that don't. Sikhi is the way of life that began with Guru Nanak Dev Ji, our first Guru, and Bibi Nanki Ji, our first Sikh, who happened to be a woman. Sikhi teaches equality of all because we are all part of the same source. There's no prescribed roles based on gender, DNA, socioeconomic standings, or the circumstances of our birth. Sikhi has no boxes. It has no otherizing. But otherizing is something that many post-colonial Sikhs struggle with. I've watched this in my grandparents' generation, my parents' generation, my generation, and in the younger generations. It's there. Don't let anyone tell you that it's not. And there are Sikhs in all these generations that have worked on not otherizing and continue to do the work. Because let's face it, there's a lot of external messaging today that encourages us to otherize. Now, I want to share with you that as Sikhs, we don't attend Gurdwara to worship. We go there to learn and to have an experience where we look to shift ourselves from the constrained space we're in to a more expansive space, to shift out of the dark and into the light. So with that in mind, our service today is going to be experiential. While there are multiple techniques that Sikhs use to shift out of otherizing, we are going to do two today. The first is a self-reflection exercise. I developed this exercise for my personal spiritual practice. I've also led people in doing it in order to help us all break out of colonial habit of otherizing. The self-reflection exercise is called, Who is my other? In this exercise, I repeatedly ask, who is my other? And then list all kinds of different labels that are applied to people. I want you to write down the labels that you have a reaction to. Don't judge yourself. Just be honest with yourself. I do want you to know that the list has been shortened due to our time constraints and is not comprehensive. I'm going to give you a few seconds right now to get a pen and paper ready. Now, I'd like you to focus on your paper and keep your focus there until the exercise is done. As you hear me ask, who is my other? And then list out labels. Write down the labels that you react to. Let's begin. Who is my other? Aboriginals, Indigenous, First Nations, Métis, Inuit, Baha'i, Buddhists, Catholics, Christians, Hindus, Muslims, Jains, Jews, Sikhs, Scientologists, Unitarians, Wiccans, pagans, heathens, secular. Who is my other? Africans, Asians, Europeans, North Americans, South Americans, Black, white, brown, immigrants, refugees, asylum seekers, illegals, border runners, sellout, traitor, instigator, racist, sexist, extremist, terrorist, bigot. Who is my other? Males, females, binary, non-binary, transgender, cisgender, gender fluid, gay, lesbian, bisexual, asexual, queer, pansexual, straight, heterosexual, gender, gender bigot, conformist, nonconformist. Who is my other? Progressive, conservative, liberal, moderate, fundamentalist, reformer, orthodox, do-gooder, privileged, the government, the system, police, protesters, white nationalist, supremacist, patriot, gangs, murderer, shooters, gun control lobbyists, anti-gun control lobbyists. Who is my other? Anti-maskers, people who wear masks, conspiracy theorists, sheeple, blind followers, the ignorant, the masses, freedom fighters, activists, liberators. Who is my other? Who do I think doesn't count? Who can't I be bothered with? Write down whatever thoughts come to mind for the next minute. And we are done. You may be feeling uncomfortable. Please continue to breathe easily. It's in our discomfort that the opportunities for personal insight exist. Now, due to the time constraints, we won't be able to do the second part of the exercise. So I'm going to encourage you to take your list, and when you have some time, to reflect on why you see these groups as your other. What prevents you from seeing them as human beings? Don't judge yourself. Just be really honest with yourself. Now, we're going to have another experience. We are going to do a meditative chant. Many Sikhs use this technique, which we call Simran, to shift from feeling stuck or trapped in our negative emotions or thought patterns. This is really helpful when we're shifting otherizing. We Sikhs do Simran frequently. This is not something you just do once, and it magically fixes everything. Instead, it's part of our spiritual practices, and we gain deeper and deeper insights the more we do it. The word we are going to chant is Vaheguru. Please repeat after me. Vaheguru. Vaheguru. The word Vaheguru means, how amazing is that, which moves us from darkness to light. This chant is performed by Bibi Baldev Kaur from Malaysia. I'd like you to sit comfortably and close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Breathe in and breathe out easily. breathe in, breathe out. Again, breathe in, breathe out. And when you are ready, open your eyes. I'd like to end our time with an invitation. I'm organizing a program called My Vaisakhi Spirit. Vaisakhi is a significant moment for Sikhs in April. In 1699, we abolished our clerical system. Our clerics were both female and male, and unfortunately, enough of them had become corrupt and were interfering with the Sikhs' direct connection with Source. So the entire system was abolished. And our current system, where Sikhs initiate each other onto the Sikh path, was established in Vaisakhi in 1699. Vaisakhi is based on 5 key attributes: compassion, justice for all, courage, self-discipline, self-leadership. Vaisakhi is also rooted in resilience. So please join us for My Vaisakhi Spirit as we explore how our fellow human beings from diverse backgrounds have been working on resilience, compassion, justice for all, courage, self-discipline, and self-leadership during these really challenging times. You can join us on our Facebook page called My Vaisakhi Spirit and on Twitter and Instagram at My Vaisakhi. It would be great to connect with you further. Thank you.
Let's remember always the importance of reaching out and connecting in ways such as our speaker Sukhvinder Kaur has invited us to do, and we thank her again today for her words. Part of being together is singing together, walking together, talking together, dancing together, and this next song is all about that. Let's sing.
Time for our offertory, and we start with the words of Victoria Weinstein, Generosity of Spirit. The purpose of the church is to encourage all who gather there to grow more generous in spirit and in action. This is the great end of all the world's faith religions, to bring the human being closer to the divine by acts of creation and compassion. So we now take an offering that allows us to exercise that all-important generosity of spirit, an offering that will support this self-supporting church and its many ministries. The gifts of the congregation will be most gratefully received.
Good morning. I'm Duff Bond and I'm on the stewardship team. I'm here to give you an update on the results so far in our pledge drive. Here's the bar chart that gives a picture of our results. The left-hand chart shows you how many pledges we have in. We're expecting more than 100, and so far we have 65. The right-hand chart shows that we're hoping to reach at least $205,000 for the coming year, in pledges for the coming year. And so far we've reached 140,000. To make the picture a little clearer, I can say that more pledgers have increased their pledges than kept them the same, which is a good sign. A few folks have had to decrease their pledges because of personal circumstances, but we've also received 5 new pledges so far this year. Our canvassers will be reaching out to the people who have still to get their pledges into us. Remember that for most people, the easiest way to pledge is online from our website. You can pledge from our stewardship page, and you can donate from the donate button on every page of the website. And that's at calgaryunitarians.ca. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. The draw for our gift basket full of tempting things like chocolate, wine, tea, homemade jam, and 2 lovely wine glasses. Here's the bowl of names of those who have already made their pledges. Drum roll, please. I'll just close my eyes now and pick a name. Just pick one name. And it is Tom Mirhadi. Congratulations, Tom. Your basket will be delivered to your home personally by our stewardship chair, Meredith Simon. Now, if you're one of those who has forgotten to get your pledge in, we still love you, but please do let us know what you believe your support for our beloved community will be for the next year. We're counting on you. And now, back to Lynn.
Thanks, Duff. Well, lucky Tom, I was hoping my name was going to pop out of that bowl that Duff had, but enjoy, 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 Tom and Barbara. I extend my thanks to Sukhvinder Kaur Vinning for taking us through an experience of the work she is doing. Educational, transformational, and healing work. I will close our service today with another quote from Valerie Kaur. She asks, "The future is dark, but is this the darkness of the tomb or darkness of the womb? How do we labor for the world we want when the labor feels endless?" Valerie, inspired by the writings of Guru Nanak and the other gurus in her tradition, declares that revolutionary love is the call of our time, a radical, joyful practice that extends in 3 directions: to others, to our opponents, and to ourselves. It enjoins us to see no stranger, but instead look at others and say, "You are a part of me I do not yet know." Starting from that place of wonder, the world begins to change. It is a practice that can transform a relationship, a community, a culture, and even a nation.
And as we begin to reach out beyond ourselves, let us do so in joy, let us do so in hope, and let us answer the call of love.
promise of the Spirit, faith, hope, and love abide. And so every soul is blessed and made whole. The truth in our hearts is our guide. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. Sometimes we build a barrier to keep love tightly bound, corrupted by fear, unwilling to hear, denying the beauty we found. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. The bright new day is dawning, when love will not divide. Reflections of grace in every embrace, fulfilling the vision divine. We are answering the call of love. Hands joined together as hearts beat as one. Emboldened by faith, we dare to proclaim we are answering the call of love. We are answering the call of love.
We extinguish our chalice this morning with words by Guru Tegh Bahadur, the 9th Sikh Guru. Why do you go to the forest in search of the divine? God lives in all and abides with you too. As fragrance dwells in a flower or reflection in a mirror, so the divine dwells inside everything. Seek therefore in your own heart.
And as we move towards our closing benediction today, may I invite us all to coffee hour. We've got a lot to talk about today, and we look forward to seeing you all there. To get to coffee hour, you can click on the link that has just appeared in the chat area of your Zoom screen. And now, let us sing together our closing benediction, Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.